I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Phin-Addicts, welcome to Phin-Addict Fury, another installment, another episode, another late show, but hey, you know, there's things going on. But listen, couldn't be more happier. That's not how you say that. Couldn't be more happy. You don't need the R after you say more. Come on, Larry, or, you know, you're better than that. So, couldn't be happier, guys. Weeks ago, we talked about the possibility that the Miami Dolphins could potentially, with the way the schedule was shaping up, we talked about the fact that the Miami Dolphins could potentially wind up at 500 near the end of December, just in time for Christmas, that it was feasible and within the realm of possibility. And guess what? It looked a little scary early on Sunday against the rival New York Jets. It looked tough, but we came out with the W. The players made the plays they needed to when they needed to, and we do, in fact, find ourselves at 7-7, at 500, right in the thick of the playoff race. And it doesn't matter how you got there. There's a lot of other teams that started off really hot, and now they're right around us, 7-7, 8-6, all right around there. Doesn't matter how you got there. We're all there now, and now it's a new season. It's a race to the finish. Can we get to the playoffs? We will see. By all indications, it looks like we are going to have to win out, meaning we're going to have to win at New Orleans Monday night. We're going to have to win at Tennessee, and we're going to have to win at home against the rival New England Patriots. Is that possible? Yes, it's possible. I don't know if it's likely, but we will see. The way our defense is playing, if we assume we have players back and they're not suffering from this COVID thing that's going on again, and we get them all on the field and everybody executes, we have a chance. Now, from what I also understand, this coming week, it's best for us, and it increases our chances hugely if the Bills beat the Patriots this week. If the Bills beat the Patriots this week and Miami wins out, that's the best scenario for us. That's the most likely scenario of us getting into the playoffs. So Christmas is coming. Enjoy your Christmas and all that, but then sit down, get on the couch, get to the stadium, wherever you're going to be, whatever you're doing, the bar, turn on the Bills-New England game and root for the Bills. And then Monday night is the big one for us. It's New Orleans. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the Jets and what all happened there. I mean, it started off shaky, didn't it? And I've been saying for a while now, I've been saying that, you know, as far as Tua goes, early in the year, I was a huge Tua critic. He wasn't staying healthy. He looked shaky. He wasn't moving the ball that well. He didn't seem like he was progressing, going through his progressions properly. He had a lot of question marks, and the team was actively courting and vice versa Desean Watson. But as the season has gone on, I have been objective, and I've been watching the play of Tua, and I've been watching the team, and it seems as though Tua is really showing flashes. And I would say flashes not only of competency, flashes not only of being, you know, an upper half of the league starting quarterback, but he's shown flashes of being a top 5 quarterback on certain parts of the game, certain throws, in certain statistical categories. His completion percentage, I believe, is still number 1 in the league. Omar Kelly posted an interesting stat the other day. It said that Tua's yards per attempt are actually equal to Josh Allen, who has a rocket arm, according to everybody. So he's flashed some real brilliance. But I have said throughout this situation, and I will continue to say it, that I am going to wait until the end of the season to give like an overall take on Tua Tagovailoa. Wait till the end of the season. The entire resume of the season is in. See how he does. Because look, this final stretch is where legends are born. And this is a shirt that says legends never die with Shula. And his legend was probably born all the way back in his Baltimore days, but certainly in the early 70s. Quarterback notoriety and legends are born in these situations. Let's see if Tua, and a couple weeks ago, if you remember, I said I want to see Tua just continue to rock it up. I want to see him continue to increase his trajectory and just go to higher and higher levels. And he's gotten that media attention. He's done that. But let's see in these next 3 games, let's see him really rise to the moment. And we'll talk about these games, but let's see him rise to the moment. Let's see him really put it all together and display his potential on a national stage and in this playoff showcase as we get down to the wire. But last week, look, coming out of a bye, Tua started off. Overall game, it was not a great game for Tua. And early on in the game, you started to kind of scratch your head, and say, oh, man, did we jump? You had and I can't stand. There's people out here in the media sphere, in the Dolphin nation out here, that go too crazy, jump the gun too much, right? Like he has a couple good games and people are like, apologize to him, eat your crow, shut up, you're stupid. If you ever question Tua, you're a moron. Like using that kind of ridiculous language and that kind of ridiculous rhetoric, it's really unnecessary. And those people, they had to come back down to earth last Sunday, right? Because it's okay. It's healthy to have still questions about a young quarterback, and it's healthy to still be taking a wait-and-see approach. And the fact is that last game, Tua started off, he was off on a lot of passes. He made some really questionable decisions. The first interception, he had Albert Wilson open in the flat. That was his first read. He should have just taken it. He kind of waited. He thought he might hit Gesicki. It wounds up intercepted. Terrible pass. And then he throws the other one high to Gesicki. He forces it. It's off. It almost gets intercepted. He throws one. Just a bunch of throws that were really kind of off. He had the fumble, which was really his fault too. He waited too long to make the decision. And that caused the fumble. He struggled mightily early in the game. And it was healthy to wonder, like, oh, geez, is he going to come back to earth? But I think one of the things you look for, because every quarterback is going to have a bad throw. Every quarterback is going to have bad quarters. Every quarterback is going to go through, ruts in their game on certain drives or even a full game. And you got to look, too, at how they bounce back, right? Some quarterbacks or some players, once they have a few negative plays, you can start to eat off that, right? Like some quarterbacks, especially with our defense as a Miami fan, when there's a quarterback you have on the ropes where if you keep hitting him and you keep bringing the pressure and you keep rattling him and you keep batting down his passes, you keep intercepting him, you can just sense that he's going into a shell, that he's getting worse and worse as the game goes on. Now, the better quarterbacks in the league and the better quarterbacks over history, what you see with those quarterbacks is you see that you rattle them, they make bad decisions, they make a bad throw, they even throw a pick six. Tua's pick six was another terrible decision, and that was when he had already kind of flashed some of his brilliance again with really nice throws and had got us in the lead. We're trying to protect the lead, and he throws a really ill-advised pass that goes for a pick six, gives life to the Jets. And then, granted, he got back in position through the run game. And I think the run game, this shows why the run game can help quarterbacks too. Like if the quarterback's having an off day, no matter how good he is, if he's having an off day and you have a reliable running attack, that kind of can get the defense off balance and you could lean on a little bit, that could get you some chunk yards itself to put you in better positions and open up the defense a little better, to make your life a little easier, to make certain throws, give you a little bit of wider windows and whatnot. It can help you. And the running game was great. I mean, that was a big help too. But granted, the running game was great. Tua was able to bounce back from really rough throws, really costly turnovers, really down play, and was able to bounce back and make some really, really excellent throws, like the initial throw down to Devontae Parker at the 5-yard line early on that led to our first touchdown. The throw to Devontae Parker, which admittedly was a little behind him, but that won the game in the end zone. Nonetheless, it was the right read. It was the right throw. It was good enough throw to get in the end zone. He made beautiful throws to Isaiah Ford, the one right over the shoulder in the tiny window. He made nice throws to guys in stride. Gesicki had one. Ford had one that was in stride that allowed for the first down. Tua never seemed to show, even if we were doubting him at home, even if the announcers were doubting him, even if the Jets were doubting him, he never doubted himself. It didn't seem like he ever lost any confidence that he could win that game. And I think that's an important characteristic and trait too, right? Not everybody's going to be perfect, but how do you respond to adversity? And football coaches are always parroting that line. How do you respond to adversity? And that's a huge part of being a good football player, especially being a good quarterback. How do you respond to adversity? Games are going to have back and forths. You're going to have bad plays. How do you rebound? Can you still lead the team to victory in the end, especially in a game you should win, especially at home? Tua did do that. Now, was it only Tua? No. How about the emergence of Duke Johnson? What a great game from Duke Johnson. Now, I hear a lot of debate. There's so much debate out here. Is he ever going to be a real bell cow back? Is he a real running back? Is he just a pass-catching back? Is he a gadget player? He's never done it before. Look, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I think we all know we need to kind of reassess our running back room in the offseason. I think there's going to be questions about the offensive line in the offseason, as there has been all year. I think we have put some pieces in place on the offensive line that I think are working out pretty well for us now. And I think if we leave, we got to stop tinkering with it and moving guys around. Leave some of these guys where they seem to be playing better. Even Austin Jackson in the guard spot is playing better. Leave them where they are. Eichenberg seems to be coming on a little bit. Maybe needs still some upgrades, and we need to, get some quality depth in there. But the running back room is going to have to be revamped too. So we don't have to have this Duke Johnson conversation under the, assumption that he's either our superstar bell cow back from now until whenever, or he's going to come back to earth, crashing back to earth next week. Look, I think for the rest of the season, we found a back who's decisive in his running, who's maybe a little more of a, even though he's not a power back by nature, he runs more like a power back than the guys we have presently, and he adds another dimension, another element to the offense. So now Duke Johnson's been signed from the practice squad to the 53-man roster. I think he made a huge impact on this game. I think without him, I don't know how the game would have turned out because of the early struggles. Now, I don't know if the struggles were because they're coming off the bye. I don't know what it was. I like to attribute some of it to the bye. The defense early on, I know Javon Holland was out, and it shows how valuable he is as a player, even as a rookie. And by the way, that shows another very nice pick by Greer that's coming to fruition here. I didn't understand the defense early on. It looked like we were going back to what we did early in the season when we weren't able to stop anybody. I noticed that the down linemen on the defense were playing like a yard off the neutral zone. I didn't understand that. And you could see the neutral zone, the blue line. It's pretty clear these days on TV. And it really looked like the defense was playing a yard off of it early on, and there was no real pressure. And Zach Wilson, a quarterback who's the worst quarterback under pressure in the league, really marched down the field a couple times. And the Jets looked like they were really clicking on, hitting on all cylinders on the offense. And then, like usual, then all of a sudden the guys are playing up, and all of a sudden we're playing man again, and all of a sudden we're bringing pressure, and all of a sudden we're bringing heat, and all of a sudden Wilson can't do anything. Really, the only points they really scored in the second half was the pick six on defense. So again, I don't understand. I mean, was that because Holland was out? We thought we couldn't bring pressure. Was it to try to confuse the Jets because they thought they game planned for pressure? I know they had some tight end completions that were maybe the result of too much pressure where, they baited an outside linebacker to rush in with a fake block, and then the tight end rolls out and there's no one out there. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm not the coach. I noticed some softer defense early on, and I didn't like it. This team thrives on aggressive defense. That's how they play ball. And if they're going to win games this year and going forward into next year, if they're going to win games, they're going to have to play aggressive defense. It's just what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to stick to that. But long story short, They beat the Jets once again. That's 4 in a row against the New York Jets. The Miami Dolphins have won 10 of the last 12 meetings with the New York Jets. The Jets have not won in Miami since 2014. So they beat us once on a technical home game, but it was in London. So they haven't beat us. It's like 10 out of 12 times we've beat them, 4 in a row, and they haven't won at Hard Rock in Miami since 2014. So we have been dominating our rival Jets. I wish I could say the same about the Bills. You know, we usually kind of go toe-to-toe with the Pats. But it feels good to dominate a rival like that, like a rival that, you know, just especially because I live up here in the New York, New Jersey area. It's a rival, man. So, and I know there's a lot of transplants down in South Florida. So this is a big rivalry, this Jets-Dolphins rivalry, and it felt good. It feels good to be dominating that series the way we have been as of late. So it's just nice. We should have won the game. We did win the game. The Jets threw everything they could at us. We still won, but it's still the Jets. All right? So now we got some really challenging make-or-break type games coming up. These are not teams that are insurmountable. These are not teams that are absurd powerhouses. These are teams that if we want to take ourselves seriously, and if the Miami Dolphins want to say, hey, we've arrived as a playoff contender, that they're going to need to beat and play with to prove that. You have a Monday night. I'm not going to get into every game because we can do that on videos in the next coming weeks. But you have coming up now a Monday night game, national TV, national playoff implications, showcase against a premier team that's on a down year, the New Orleans Saints, who lost their starting quarterback. First of all, Breeze retired. Then they lose their starting quarterback this year to injury. Taysom Hill, I love watching the guy. He's a cool player. He's one of those guys who's like an old school, like almost running back quarterback, almost fullback quarterback. When he was playing like a gadget role, it was cool always. I enjoyed the plays they did for him. I enjoyed him, watching him. But he has limitations as a quarterback. As a pure starting every down quarterback, Taysom Hill has limitations. Excuse me. And it's funny because our buddy Chris Sims, was going. That's when he went on the rant about Tua and calling people idiots. And I understand this idiot. Look, it's not like I don't say that once in a while on like posts or amongst friends or whatever. But when you're on the radio or you're on a media force, stop calling people idiots and things. You sound juvenile. I mean, this is big boy league now. You're on the microphone. You got the video on. Don't be silly. Well, Chris Sims, calls people idiots because they think Tua is better than Taysom Hill. It's like, bro, I think Tua is much better than Taysom. Taysom Hill's an awesome, cool player, great dude, got a lot of heart, but he's got limitations. And here's my thing. If the Miami Dolphins defense could eat Lamar Jackson for lunch the way they did a few weeks ago, then there's no reason why the Miami Dolphins defense can't eat Taysom Hill for lunch. Now, I'm not bloviating. I'm not getting overconfident. I'm just saying the matchup for our defense should be one that we could take advantage of, okay? It's not going to be easy. They're going to give their best shot. They have good playmakers. Taysom Hill himself is a good playmaker. If you don't bring him down on the first hit, if you don't get to him on the first penetration, he's going to give you fits. I mean, if Zach Wilson can give you fits, he sure as hell can. You got to hope we have Javon Holland back. But we should be able to have our defense match up with their offense. Now, the game's on the road. Saints fans are a raucous bunch. So it's not going to be an easy place to play. It's a different environment than we're used to. It's indoors. It's different. It's an NFC team we don't see all the time. They just came off shutting out Brady. So here's where I think the scary thing is, and here's where I think we're going to see and learn a lot of things about our team and about our quarterback. The Saints, I say our defense has a good matchup against their offense. Our offense has a really, really tough and a really difficult matchup against their defense. Their defense is very good. And I'm scared about what they might try to do strategically, tactically from an X and O standpoint and physically to our line and to Tua. If they find ways to confuse Tua and to rattle him and bring a lot of pressure and hit him hard, it could be a long day for us. This game should be, if you're using your common sense and just past performance of the year, this game should be a defensive struggle because both defenses are very good and both offenses have limitations. But you never know in the NFL, so we'll see how the matchup plays out. It's not a matchup we really are used to seeing, so anything can happen. But this is where I want to see Tua rise to the occasion. Like, if some of the throws he makes and some of the performances we've seen have star potential. There's superstar potential in Tua. There's top 5 quarterback potential, but it's not there yet. He's not there yet. And these kind of games, Monday night, playoff implications, tough defense, we need what can be the denominator, what could be the factor that puts us above them or vice versa, right? It could be the quarterback. If we have truly a top quarterback in this league, a future star quarterback who can win championships in this league, then we should be able to lean on him to be the decisive factor in a game like this, where the Saints quarterback has limitations, both defenses are very good. He should be able to eke out the win. But Tom Brady wasn't able to. So it's not going to be easy by any stretch. Now, it's a division game, so, the matchups are different and things, so I'm not going to weigh too much into the Tom Brady thing, but you got to think about it. They shut him out. The other thing is the Saints, they had the whole not Bullygate. Bullygate was us with the whatever it was called, Bountygate. And I know that the coach, the defensive coach involved, and that's long gone. Most of the players are long gone, blah, blah. But they were taking out Bucks players left and right the other night. And even Devontae Parker even tweeted, "Come on, man," when they took out one of the players on the Bucks. So I'm nervous about that too, because we can't afford to come out of there beat up. We only have so many playmakers and we only have so many guys. And if we start dropping like flies on offense, we're going to be in for an even longer day. And that's what happened to the Bucks. They lost 3 of their top playmakers, really. I mean, and that definitely contributed to the shutout too. It wasn't just the stout defense of the Saints. And with a quarterback like Tua, who we're always worried about his durability, and we're always worried about his size and all those things, I'm just kind of worried about these guys going against the Saints, the way they play. And I really hope we don't come out of there too beat up, and I really hope we don't lose any key players throughout the course of the game that affect the outcome of the game, because that would be really disappointing, and no one likes to see that, and that's just a crappy way to lose and a crappy way to win on their side. So let's hope that's at a minimum. Let's hope that we don't tolerate that, and let's hope we come out of there healthy. I'm a little nervous about that. But look, it's going to be a tough game. I don't know how to call it. It's on the road. I wish it was at home. It's nice, though, to just be in the playoff conversation. It's so nice to be in the playoff conversation on Christmas week. Now, Doug, he does a lot of good content, as you guys know. And as TD and Doug, TD and Doug are who I watch a lot. But he did a whole playoff breakdown, and it was interesting because it was like, if we had beaten Jacksonville and Atlanta this year and still lost and won every other game, we would be vying for the top seed in the AFC at this point. Think about that. With the way we're playing, too, we'd be vying for the top seed. We'd be vying for a division title if we just beat Jacksonville and Atlanta. It's sobering because it's like another missed opportunity, but it's encouraging because it's like this team can get over the hump with the players we have and the way we play defense and whatnot. It's just, we've got to, and I say this, I'm not going off on a tangent. I'm saying this because I'm talking about, being relevant in December and being relevant around Christmas and how fun it is to be even having these conversations. I mean, if we had been, 3-10 right now or something, it would be still it wouldn't mean anything. I don't even know if you guys would be watching. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please take 1 second while you're watching the rest of this video. Just 1 second. Please go down and just click the subscribe button. Just smash the subscribe button. trying to get to a higher level where we can have more good technological advances. I know the last video, like, it cut out to, I was like dark or miscolored by the end of it. I don't know what's going on. It's the software. One of the things I'm doing, I have some time off around holidays now. One of the things I'm doing is I'm going to revamp the software setup, so I don't think that'll be happening much anymore. But if you smash the subscribe button, the quicker we get to 1,000 subscribers, the quicker I can get more upgrades and the better we can do with this whole setup. So take some time to do that. But look, me talking about this stuff and you guys tuning in around Christmas is awesome, and it's a great thing. If we want to take the next step, though, and be talking about division titles this time of year, and be talking about potential championship runs this time of year, and if we want to be, perennial playoff contenders, and we want to keep this up and always be here in December, maybe with even like a little more margin for error and not needing help, we've got to start off better. We've got to start off faster. We can't start off 1-7, and I really think this season a lot's gonna happen. You better keep your veteran players. You better re-sign your leaders in the locker room. Mike Gesicki, for instance, I understand they haven't paid him yet. I understand they think he's a glorified split end receiver, and he can't be an inline blocker, and he has his limitations. Whatever. He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker who shows up when you need him. He's a playmaker that the defense is worried about. On the one throw that another throw he missed early in the game, he threw into triple coverage on Gesicki, but Parker was wide open in the end zone. Now, Tua didn't make the right throw there, but imagine going forward if they continue to triple cover Gesicki and Tua hits Parker, and you have Waddle in the game. I mean, you can't get rid of notable playmakers who bring passion to the team just because, they don't fit this, and this, so they're not worth this money. Enough with the analytical stuff. There's an intangible aspect to football teams, and one of them is leadership and passion. And Gesicki is a guy who has bought into the culture of Miami, bought into the culture of the Miami Dolphins, bought into the team spirit of the Miami Dolphins, loves being a Dolphin, and brings a certain energy and cohesion to the locker room. One of the reasons you start off slow in a new year is because you get rid of guys who are carrying the passion and the attitude from the year before. You get rid of them, and you got to start over and build it back up again. And in the time it takes to build it back up, you're losing football games, and you dig yourself a hole. So we could be contending for the top seed and a bye right now, but instead we're barely clawing into the playoffs, and I'm happy we're there. But if we want to make the step, we've got to keep cohesion. And we better bring back guys like that, and we better keep certain other guys on the roster that are up for signings. And whoever we bring in better gel well with the team and better add to it instead of scrambling up. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And right now, it ain't broke. Don't fix it. Now, we'll see how the last 3 games go. And the last 3 games are going to tell us a lot about everything. And that goes for our quarterback, too. I am really excited about the way Tua is playing, and I'm also really curious to see how he finishes the year. Because Desean Watson, even though now I heard they're bringing criminal charges against Desean Watson. Now they're bringing criminal charges. So at some point, somewhere down the line, there's going to be most likely some sort of disciplinary, some sort of something that's going to interfere with Deshaun's ability to play certain games. I don't know how many. I don't know when. I don't know any of that. But he's not going away. He wants out of Houston. He's in his prime. He's a top 5 quarterback. He wants to go somewhere. There's plenty of teams that are interested in him. He hasn't expressed interest in any of them except the Dolphins so far. So if you think he's going to be out of the conversation come the offseason, you're wrong. The only reason I bring that up right now is to say that these last 3 games are going to say a lot, because if Tua rises to the occasion, it doesn't mean he has to win all 3 of them, but if he rises to the occasion, he starts flashing some serious brilliance, and he really gets to that next level that I believe he has the potential to get to, then I think it would be a little foolish maybe of Miami to go out and mix up the chemistry and the progress that we have with an unknown in a Watson who's in some turmoil and how we don't know how he's going to fit in with the team. On the other hand, if Tua does not rise to the occasion, if he goes out injured again, if he struggles mightily in the biggest games again, if he can't put it all together down the stretch, then Miami would be foolish not to entertain and look into a potential Watson, which would be an upgrade. So there's so much at stake in these last 3 games, not just for this playoff race. And the way we're playing, I would love to see us get into the playoffs. Because if we win out and get into the playoffs, which is a big if we were able to do that, I would be scared. Any team should be scared of us in the AFC playoffs, and I would not be scared of playing any team in the AFC playoffs. And that even includes the Bills based on how we played them last time. So I'm really curious to see what happens in these last 3 games because they're going to tell us so much about the future of the team. And right now, the future of the team is exciting. But don't let me down again. The future of the team was exciting the end of Flores' first year. The future of the team was exciting last year. The future of the team's exciting now. But every beginning of the season, it drops off again, and we find ourselves barely clawing into a playoff spot. We got to get into the playoffs at some point. And not only because we got to do it because it's a benchmark for a coach to accomplish and a GM tandem, Greer and Flores, but also because the players and the culture of the team needs to experience a playoff game to start getting their feet wet and start understanding what the playoffs are like and how that works and what the atmosphere is like and the style and level of play. Because if they're ever going to make a deep run into the playoffs, they're going to have some playoff experience most likely to be able to do that. So at some point, this young team's got to get a taste of the playoffs. And I hope it's this year. But we will find out a whole heck of a lot about the team, the coaches, everything in these next 3 games. And it starts in New Orleans on Monday. Guys, once again, please subscribe. If you want to donate, go to the main page. There's a link to donate. I really appreciate all your support. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying your week. I hope you're enjoying the holiday season. I hope you would really, no matter what happens, guys, no matter what happens, I hope you've enjoyed our November and December so far. I hope you've really enjoyed the deep fall to winter transition that we had, which is the best time of the year for me, which is the best time for football. And our Miami Dolphins have given us victory Sundays for a couple months now. And man, it feels good. I hope you've enjoyed this win streak. I hope you love the fact that we're right in the thick of it. We're at 500 at 7-7, and we're a respectable team, and it feels great. Everybody have happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the Christmas. It's nice when you can sit and chill on Christmas, watch some other games, see your family and friends, and you know the Fins are 500 and they got a chance. And then we don't have to hunker down and get nervous and watch anything till Monday night. Let's go Fins Monday night. Defenses are going to clash. Let's hope our offense rises to the occasion. Let's hope our quarterback is a deciding factor and gets us the victory. I'll talk to you guys next week. Fins up. And stay with me. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Larry.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day.